Hi there. So I'm completing the e-journal for EDAD 762B, and this is going to focus on the CP cells related to professional learning culture, curriculum and instruction, and then also assessment and accountability. So one of the first prompts is, what steps are you taking to promote trust and shared responsibility in your school and in your district? I would say in my school, I'm taking steps for shared trust and responsibility in just being visible on campus, making myself available to teachers. All of our administrators here on campus and our counselors have open door policies. Students and teachers can come in whenever they want. They're always able to email us, always able to reach us. We try to be active participants, not only in our staff meetings because we're running them, but also our department meetings as well. We've done a really great job last year and this year of designating areas of responsibility, designating which students belong in our alpha so that teachers just know where to go and who to go to for certain things. I've tried to, as my third year here at Thornton, I've tried to establish myself with our staff as somebody who they can trust, somebody who I might not have all the answers because it's only my third year, but I do know certain people who I could go to get the answers that are needed. So that is one way that I'm trying to take steps to promote trust within my school site. One thing that I do want to work on this year is being more of an active participant in instructional rounds. So going into teachers' classrooms, popping in. Our principal had papers made last year just to kind of write something, not evaluation wise at all, but just to have us be visible in classrooms, see what teachers are doing, to know students' faces, to also just let teachers know that there are other adults on campus who are there for them and who, are curious about what's going on in class and want to be involved in the curriculum and instruction, not just the discipline piece of things or not just the, delegation of tasks, right? Being there and really holding a vested interest in knowing what's going on in the classroom, because that's how we can troubleshoot some things or also enrich different things for teachers as well. So that's what I'd say is going on campus. I think in the district, one way that I am trying to promote shared responsibility and shared trust would be being a part of various committees or various councils. So being on the curriculum council, being the facilitator for that, and having a vested interest in our English curriculum council, being able to hear from all the different school sites that we have at our school district, being the facilitator in driving their vision and driving their goals or their expectations or just areas that they want to work on as an English curriculum council. So that's one way that I'm doing that. Also being a part of this year, our district is going to be focusing on PBIS rollout at the secondary level. So they've been rolling out PBIS at the elementary level, but this year they will be rolling it out at the secondary level. So being a part of that team, being a part of that cohort is what they're calling it, getting to meet with other middle school administrators or middle school PBIS coordinators and liaisons, also being able to participate in MTSS upcoming meetings as well. Again, that is going to be a system that our district's focusing on as a whole. So going to those meetings, meeting with our counselors and just really coordinating all the groups who have a vested interest in these different frameworks or programs like PBIS. So really just, I think the major thing is just being available and being there and being visible, and then also engaging too. It's one thing to go into a classroom. It's one thing, to maybe touch base with that teacher afterwards and say, hey, I really liked the activity that you were doing with your students. I thought that was great. Kids were having fun. They seemed engaged, right? So just, I think being engaged and not forgetting that adults kind of need maybe a little bit of support and encouragement as well, or just a, hey, I see you, right? I think so often in education, you can really, as a teacher, kind of be in your own classroom, be on your own island, be really kind of just to yourself. So it's nice sometimes when another adult comes in and has something to say or some feedback, because not always are middle school students going to give feedback, or at least like positive feedback. So just being visible, being engaged, and being available. Another prompt says, how do you facilitate and support the management of diversity within teams. I think that a big thing that has to do with this might be seen on the department meeting level, where usually department meetings, from my experience, last year I was in charge of just overseeing the English department as well as the science department. And this year I'm overseeing the counseling department, our science department, as well as our English and ELD department. And I think these are really meeting formats where the department chairs lead the meeting. They're in charge of the meeting. And then I'm just there as more of a kind of an active observer, an active overseer to see if there's anything that they really need or anything that they need from the admin or office side of school. But I think that this has been really a format where I think that teachers feel empowered to maybe question or to maybe air their grievances or, to really kind of bring up, challenge maybe what's been going on. And so that's been a great format to kind of troubleshoot with teachers. So when it comes to, managing diversity or managing different voices, I think that the department chairs that I'm working with have done a really great job of promoting equity and promoting the fact that everybody gets a say within the meetings. And I think just being a participant there to oversee that and ensure that is something that will facilitate that management of diversity and facilitate making sure that every person on the team gets to be heard, not just, this teacher or that teacher, that every teacher's voice gets to be heard. So that's one way that I've been doing that. And then the next prompt is, how has educational research supported your school district's professional learning culture? I believe I spoke about this on my last reflective journal, that professional development is not something that's necessarily required in Fremont. It's something that is built into our teachers' contracts. However, if they don't do the professional development, then it comes out of their paycheck. So it's not necessarily something that's like mandated necessarily. It is a part of their contract. So it's something that they're paid for. And they can either accept that or not, or I guess participate that in that or not. Teachers are also entrusted to come up with their own professional development. I'm sorry, they're entrusted to sign up for their own professional development. So that means that they're entrusted to pick something that will adhere to them and that will, apply to them. And a lot of times teachers might just pick maybe what fits in their schedule. So there's not a ton of, accountability when it comes to professional development. I think when it comes to educational research, I think that our district as a whole, what they do is they go off of maybe like what opportunities are available, and they go off of, in a positive way, they go off of what teachers request. So for example, one professional development that was offered at the beginning of before our school year started was for adaptive PE and how to help students who are in SPED, who are also in mainstream PE. And so that was great because the district had heard from PE teachers that they needed more specialized professional development for them, and they provided it. So I think that it's not necessarily educational research, but it's more maybe like opportunities that are available, or opportunities are given from hearing teachers and hearing what they're needing to become better teachers. One thing that our district has done, our curriculum instruction department has done over the past couple of years, and school sites have really adapted this kind of up to their own pace and progress, but that would be grading for equity. And that would be probably the last, or I guess the most recent big idea that has been educationally or educational research based has been grading for equity. They were able to purchase these books that were based off of Joe Feldman's research. They were able to go into classrooms. A lot of our curriculum instruction teachers on special assignment were able to meet up with school sites and their instructional leaders. And so that is something that I've seen as a teacher and now as an administrator that has been based in research, and not just, maybe what opportunity came around, or maybe what teachers were necessarily like requesting. It was something more that a vision that the district really upheld, and a vision that they wanted to see put in place. And then I've also seen coordinated efforts too, where now we have board policy that really matches the grading for equity lens, right? We've seen our student information systems are matching the grading for equity lens, or we've seen some training on how to have our grade books match this grading for equity lens. So that would probably be the most recent topic that I've seen our district really really like a vision or like an agenda that I've seen our district facilitate and really implement that had to do with educational research. But again, it was really up to the school sites and up to the school site administrators and instructional leaders who wanted to take grading for equity on as a topic that they wanted to see fit. And then from there, for example, our school site, we took on grading for equity, and a lot of our different departments now use those qualities. They use that research and they use those techniques within their grading and within their departments, which has been really great to see. And then from there, then we can offshoot into more enrichment or more advancement of helping our struggling students, or really identifying where students maybe their deficiencies are, and then creating interventions to help them get back on track or to help them succeed in school. So that would be the goal. But again, that was something that our school site and our administrators and instructional leadership team decided to go forward on. So that accountability and that onus was really on what our school site decided. I haven't really seen so much in our school district something that is uniform, or something that is, I guess, an agenda or a vision that everybody's going to participate in until this year with our MTSS strategies and with PBIS. So I'm excited to see more change happening, I think, on a more global scale within our district, because we're all on board with these two different programs. Basically, one of them is more of a framework and a lens, and PBIS is going to be more of a program. So I'm excited to see what change or what goals are going to be met when, as a district or as a kind of a global whole, that we're all behind a certain objective. So more to follow on that. Thanks so much.